Hi, it's Brandon again. Been thinking a lot. I have what I consider to be prophetic dreams. I've had them all throughout my life. Now that I'm sober, I can remember them more often. When I've mentioned to other people, they just say that it's just related to your own life. But I wanted to try and share one and just see how it goes. And it's about the end times and about revolution and about civil unrest. So let me give it a shot. I wrote some notes down to describe what had happened. When I have these dreams, um, it's like I'll fall into a deep sleep for maybe an hour or 2 hours, and then it's like I just wake up as though I haven't been sleeping. I'm not groggy or anything. I'm just completely awake and reviewing what the message was. And the ones that I remember are the ones I think I'm going to start writing down and sharing them and just see if it makes if it can be helpful to anyone. I could be totally wrong, you know. I don't know if it's prophetic or not, but like I said, I'll give it a shot. So one that I had last week had to do with soldiers. They were all dressed in black, and I remember they were short in stature, but they had swords, not like a not like a medieval sword, but almost like a Japanese sword with the curved blade, and they were just hacking apart. Some were stabbing, some were hacking people. The reason I could tell they were civilian, they were in plain clothes, just like t-shirt and blue jeans. And the people that they were hacking apart happened to all be Hispanic. And they wouldn't die right away. After they received the wounds, the soldiers would move on. There was a multitude of people. I don't know, 1,000 people, 500. I just know it was a multitude of Hispanic people. And when they would get hacked apart or stabbed or slashed, a wound that would normally be a mortal wound wasn't. And I remember clearly one person was sliced completely in half, and he was still running around, and you saw his brain start to fall out. You saw all the guts and the gore start to fall out, but he was still moving and running and screaming. And that was very disturbing to me to actually see the gore of it, the guts. But I think that goes with what I've been saying throughout my videos. It's going to be horrific. The tribulation and the end of days. You're going to see things. Normal citizens and individuals are going to see things they thought they would never see, and a lot of it is going to be horror and agony, and it's unfortunate. But because we have lost our way as a nation and as Christians, that's going to be the fate. So wait till this garbage truck passes by. Okay, so there's a multitude, they're getting slashed, and then there's a box truck. I don't know if you know what it's a truck that kind of like a moving truck, and it has a hydraulic lift gate in the back, and there's a gap in the top, but the bottom part is closed and locked. But when me and another Hispanic gentleman, we jumped up on the bumper and looked in, and there were a bunch of crosses packing the whole truck. They were orange, and they were the top was kind of at a V shape like this. So the cross was kind of in that shape there. And I remember me and this gentleman, were struggling because the gate was locked, the truck wasn't running, the driver wasn't around. I don't know if that means he was killed or what happened, but as me and this gentleman, we're trying to just pry him out through the top because we can't get the gate unlocked. And there's a multitude of people waiting. It's like we want to get these crosses out of here and start handing them out to the people. Like I said, they were orange. They were in a shape like this, where the sides were up a little bit, and they were made of aluminum. I remember they were metal and hollow, so they didn't weigh very much, because you could kind of shift it up and down, but you couldn't get the angle to actually pull them out. So what I got from that is the prophecy I saw is a revolution that's going to happen in America and in California. And it's probably just because I live here, but that this is what the vision was. So I made notes. I don't like to make notes for doing videos, but I think it's easy to stumble on a vision if you don't have some kind of notes to go by. So I made some notes. So for the truck thing, I did a little sketch. I don't know if you can see that. There's me and the one gentleman. The crosses are up above. The tailgate's locked, and there's some people here. They're waiting, a multitude waiting to get their crosses. So what I came to the conclusion of, I looked up orange because that's one thing that stood out to me. I personally just don't like the color orange, but I looked up what are the religious implications of the color orange. One of the definitions in religious artwork is praise. Number 2 is warfare. So I think that's really what it was. Is we weren't trying to fight with swords or weapons. We wanted to fight with our faith against the atrocities that were happening. So orange means warfare. It means passion, power, fire, harvest season, fruitfulness, and joy. And I just watched a video about a military person who called in to the Alex Jones show, talking about in October the military had issued ground and air forces, and they're going to start taking weapons from American citizens. So that just, perhaps it's the harvest season, perhaps that's when it comes, when we are stripped of our weapons, that we have to go by faith. We have the cross, and that's it. Another thing I thought about, why is the cross aluminum? Why is it so lightweight? The cross that Christ carried was solid wood. That was heavy. And it brought to mind the parable in the Gospels about the hired labor, that he's hired laborers who's labored all day, and then the master hired labor at the end of the day to go out and work. And the people at the beginning are like, hey, why are they getting paid the same as I who toiled all day? And it's the master who says, who are you to tell me who I can issue what kind of reward, I guess. You know, whether they start at the beginning or the end, they're still get paid the same. So I just took that as it's the final call, you know, and because it's so short, our time is so short, every last soul that can be turned to Christ if it happens today, if it happens the day before judgment, that they can still be saved and their cross is not as heavy as those who have lived their whole life righteously and upright. I've mentioned before, I believe God is building an army, and I believe that anyone, however much darkness they live within their soul, however much selfishness or disconnection from God there is, they can come to Christ and be part of God's army. It speaks in Revelation of Armageddon, is the place where the final battle will occur. And I believe that's somewhere in the Middle East. So I just wanted to share that dream. The main points was, it was me and one other individual, or I thought it was strange that it was only me and one other individual who jumped up on the bumper of the truck and were trying with all our might to get these crosses out and hand them out to the people. And I do remember he didn't speak English, so we had our only communication barrier was like in our eyes, like we knew what needed to be done. And unfortunately, we couldn't get the crosses out because the gate was locked. That can be, if you think about it, that can be a very bad sign for me and this other gentleman and the multitude, that the gate is locked. I'll say one final thing, and I've thought about it, especially having questioned my behavior still. I'm pretty free of sin. I smoke a lot. And if I go to hell, Satan is going to hate me. Because whatever he does to me, I know it's going to be brutal and he's going to want submission, but I'm going to praise Christ. And if it's hell for eternity, he's not going to like me at all. So I don't mean to laugh, I don't want to go to hell, but if the gate is locked, if the crosses are perhaps the saints that are already in heaven, perhaps the truck is ready to leave us behind, that is a little disconcerting to me. But the least of the passion and urgency and sincere work of trying to get those crosses out for the people, maybe that's some kind of justification. But that gate being locked is a little disconcerting, to say the least. So I don't know if any of you think it may be too late for yourself. Wait for this garbage truck to go by real quick. It's going to sound like this in the suburbs all the time, man. That's going to be a tank rolling down the street, That's what you're going to hear in the suburbs all the time, man. Tanks coming. Listen to it. It's threatening, man. It sounds like hell. It's mechanized annihilation. For all of our trash. Okay, yeah. So I would say to anyone, if maybe you think you might be going to hell, what I would say is praise Christ no matter what the torture, and get yourself ready for the torture of your fleshly life in this world now and in the afterlife. Because I do believe that God has a place for me in his army, and that's what I'm going to strive to do. I haven't lived a good life, but I'm getting there, and there's hope for everyone. So I'll just say a quick prayer. Dear Lord, please help those who are fallen in darkness, that they may receive your light, that they may see in the world and see you, O Lord, your grace and glory. Please help to grant them peace, strength, and hope, that they may know you, Lord. know your grace, know your mercy, and that they may be prepared for the judgment which befalls on all men. Amen. And just a quick prayer, because there's a lot of us in darkness. All right, I'll see how this works. A prophetic dream one, I guess. Peace and love.